Hello, fiction fans. T.H. Leatherman here. Today we're going to continue our interview with authors. I asked them what was one of the most important things they've learned about the craft of writing. Tell me about the craft of writing. Tell me about the craft of writing. And this is what they told us. Hello, T.H. Leatherman here, and today I have the amazing Travis Harriman with me. How you doing?
Oh, good. How are you?
Having a great day. Can't complain. Tell me about your most recent book.
My most recent release is a novella that came out in a publication called Alembical Number 4. It's a steampunk noir heart of darkness kind of story. So it's also very pulpy. So it's kind of got, I don't know, a lot of pulp flavor, and it's very, very dark. It's maybe one of the darkest things I've done. So I'm excited about that. And it just came out 2 weeks ago. So
outstanding.
And the novella is called Where the Devil Resides, and again, Alembical 4.
Okay. So, in your opinion, what is one of the more important aspects of the craft that you've learned?
Probably structure, story structure. I'm always looking for ways to do it better. There's the 3-act structure that predominantly we use in Western literature. There are others in the East, but I'm not really well versed in those. As I'm also a screenwriter, unproduced still, but I've got some stuff that I'm out there shopping. And one of the things that working on screenplays does for novels, writing novels, is there is a very hard and fast structure to films. For a 120-minute movie, Act 1 is 30 minutes. Act 2 is the 60 minutes in the middle, and then Act 3 is the last 30 minutes, right? And then Act 2 also has a midpoint, and there are peaks and troughs along the way, and when you're writing films, you have to plan those. You have to at least be aware. I mean, I suppose you could pants it too, but you have to at least be aware that film audiences, whether they know it or not, have expectations about about the flow of the film.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's one of the things that we learn as writers is the expectations either of the genre or of writing in general.
Yes.
And certainly the 3-act system is very popular among writers.
Yeah. One of the interesting things, and I didn't know this until recently, is in the last year or so, is that the midpoint of a film, many times, I would say maybe all the time, is planned to the minute. If you've got a 100-minute movie, that midpoint moment, the mirror moment as it's sometimes called, is minute number 50. They edit it to that fine of a degree, right? Which I find fascinating, and I'm not sure how they do it, but nevertheless they do. So
that important moment needs to be right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything else?
Anything else? Oh boy. Structure is the main thing, and then POV, point of view.
Point of view.
Sort of learning how to get deep into a character's point of view, using that character to be the lens of your camera, of your reader's mind, camera of the mind, so to speak, without giving extraneous language like he saw, he felt, he heard. All of that is just fluff that can be cut for the most part, and taking phrases like that out makes the reading experience more immediate. It sucks you deeper into that character's point of view.
I agree. Yeah. Outstanding. Well, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great day.
You too.
Hello, T.H. Leatherman here, and I am with the amazing Dan Grant. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So Dan, why don't you tell us about, you've got a book coming out next
I
year.
do have. I have a book coming out in October, so next month.
Okay.
It's called The Singularity Witness, and it's about an FBI agent pursuing the kid. She's involved in an investigation where a U.S. senator has been kidnapped. Simultaneous to that, it's a hero-heroine kind of story. Simultaneous to that, a neurologist who teaches at Princeton is being recruited by a covert research lab to help them make the same achievement that he's trying to do in his lab setting for a corporate thing. And what they are going to end up working on together is how to get in the lab, how to survive, and find a way to save the day and save the illegal human test subjects inside the lab. So it's quite complicated once they get in there. Plans don't quite work out as they would like. So
Of course, because that's good storytelling.
Yes.
All right, so what do you think about the craft of writing that other writers should know about? What's important?
So I think you need to know where you want to be in terms of a writer and what genre you want to be in. The storytelling is going to be a little bit different across the genres, whether you're trying to be comedic or historical in nature, whether you're trying to do a science medical blend like I am, whether you're trying to write a dark horror. I would say, number one, study the authors that are in the genre that are essentially paving the way. And then number two, I'd say network with your writing community. Figure out those writers that are like-minded and those writers that can help you in a peer group setting, both on the side of craft but also on the encouragement side of how to be a better storyteller. At the end of the day, it's all about storytelling. How can we're entertainers, we're paid to be entertainers.
That's right.
How can we entertain others and tell a story in a setting? It doesn't matter if it's memoirs or geisha or anything like that. There's amazing stories out there, and that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to raise our game, be good storytellers, find a genre niche, and sometimes you can cross-blend across genres. There's people that do it all the time. And there's a lot of stories to be told. I still believe that. So it's really honing your craft, making sure your words really sort of spring off the page, and that I always like to convey a message. There's some message that I want to do with the writing. Others, it's entertainment and stuff like that. They're trying to lift people up or tell a dark story or something like that. But it really starts with story. That's where craft starts.
Outstanding. All right, well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Hello, T.H. Leatherman here, and I am with the wonderful Doug Adcock. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Good conference here.
Oh yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's been great. So, tell us about your work.
It's about to work. Okay. I have a 16th century spy in Elizabethan England. His name is Edward Hunter. He's a bit naive, and he's being dumped into a world which is pretty cutthroat.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And the first book was Rebellion, where he infiltrates a rebel camp during a rebellion against Elizabeth I, little-known rebellion in 1569. Second book is Massacre. Okay, he's sent to Paris.
Oh, wow.
And because there's Catholic propaganda being smuggled into England, he has to discover, who's behind this. The first thing he finds out, though, is that one of the informants in Paris has disappeared.
Uh-oh.
And, of course, the body turns up soon.
Yes.
So he's solving that as well as finding the source of the propaganda. He has a few romantic interests here and there. He gets connected with some of Catherine de Medici's flying squad, which was a number of young ladies who would seduce courtiers to find out their secrets and tell them to the queen. So there's, and of course, because hence the title, he happens to be there at the time of the 1572 St. Bartholomew's Day massacre. So that complicates his life considerably, because he's convinced some people he's a Catholic, other people believe he's a Protestant, and since the Catholics are massacring the Protestants, he's kind of out of luck either way.
Yes.
So that's my work.
Outstanding.
Okay.
So, what do you think is one of the most important craft things that you've learned?
Craft things. I think to do a bit more planning and a little less pantsing, writing by the seat of your pants, in that this manuscript ended up being like 240,000 words, and then dumped the first 3 chapters and went through looking at every scene, and I think probably still, if I was willing to give it another 8 edits, maybe I could cut other things. Well, probably not to get quite as many subplots as I had in this either. So part of it is trying to focus more on what your basic story is, eliminating even just an extra paragraph here, or an extra sentence or word. So just being a little leaner. That's the craft thing that I think of it.
I believe that they refer to that as cutting the fluff.
Cutting the fluff.
That's right.
Okay.
Sometimes you have things that are in the story that have to be there, and for the story to be told.
Indeed.
And then the other things are kind of like, does that really need to be there?
Well, another thing that goes along pretty much with this is over-researching, because you find this really interesting bit of information and you want to somehow get it in there, and then you realize
It doesn't belong there.
That doesn't
Yeah.
belong there, or you might have spent 2 days and read a book about this, but one mention in one sentence is what it really is included.
Yeah. As a science fiction author, I learn a lot about the science behind, all these futuristic weapons and technologies that I research. The theories behind it. It's like, this is how this stuff works. And I want to go in and I wanted to describe how all that is. And it's like, I'm writing an action book. They really don't need to know all the science behind how the hell that works.
Well, I've heard someone, again, I think sci-fi genre, once saying, okay, you own a car, right? You get in, you turn the key, you go someplace. You don't know everything about, it's got an engine, it's got wheels, but, you don't go into all that stuff.
Right.
So if somebody's in a rocket ship, they're going to turn the key too.
They're going to turn the key and it's going to go.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Anything else that you would like to share with us today?
That's about it for the time being. Thank you for the opportunity to tell people about what I write.
Outstanding. Happy to have you here.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank
Doug.
you. Okay.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. I post weekly. If you have a question or topic you want me to cover, message me on Facebook. Please check out the writers that I interviewed this week. They have a lot of amazing books. Check out my new book, Sunrise, which came out this week. The link to purchase it can be found below. If you enjoyed this episode, like or comment below. So long, fiction fans! Tell me about the craft of writing.